The 1800s. A time when America was still finding itself. A land of opportunity and danger. Beyond the Mississippi River lay a world untamed, mountains, deserts, endless plains. This was the American frontier, where laws were few, survival was tough, and legends were born. 1. The dream of the West. In the early 19th century, the idea of manifest destiny took hold, the belief that America was destined to expand from coast to coast. To the east, cities were crowded. Land was expensive. But the West promised something else: freedom. It was a place where anyone, no matter how poor, could start again. Families sold everything, packed their wagons, and began the long journey west. They didn't know what awaited them, only that they couldn't turn back. 2. Life on the frontier. Life on the frontier was never easy. Settlers faced isolation, unpredictable weather, and wild animals. Homes were built from logs or mud. Food was hunted, grown, or traded. Every day was a fight to survive, but also a chance to build something new. In small towns, blacksmiths, traders, and farmers built communities from nothing. There were no luxuries, only grit, hope, and determination. 3. The Gold Rush. In 1848, a discovery in California changed everything. Gold was found at Sutter's Mill. When word spread, the rush began. Men left their jobs, families, and homes chasing a dream of instant fortune. By 1849, hundreds of thousands of 49ers flooded California from around the world. Americans, Chinese, Mexicans, Europeans. Some found gold. Most didn't. But the gold rush transformed the West, building cities like San Francisco overnight and fueling the nation's economy. It was the moment when the frontier became the heart of the American dream. 4. Cowboys in the open range. When the gold dried up, another legend took its place: the cowboy. After the Civil War, cattle ranching became big business. Cowboys drove huge herds across thousands of miles, from Texas to Kansas, where railroads waited to ship beef east. Days in the saddle. Nights under the open sky. It was dangerous, exhausting work, but it created the image of freedom that still defines America today. The cowboy became more than a worker. He became a symbol of independence, courage, and the untamed spirit of the frontier. 5. The Native American story. But this story has another side, one too often forgotten. Before settlers arrived, Native American tribes had lived across the continent for centuries. The land that newcomers saw as empty was their home, filled with life, culture, and tradition. As settlers pushed west, conflicts grew. Treaties were broken, wars were fought, and entire nations were forced from their land. The frontier that promised freedom for some became tragedy for others. It's a painful truth, one that still echoes in America's history. 6. The Wild West. By the mid to late 1800s, the West was wild in every sense. Frontier towns sprang up overnight, rough places filled with miners, drifters, gamblers, and outlaws. There was little law and even less order. Names like Billy the Kid, Jesse James, and Wild Bill Hickok became legends, part truth, part myth. But behind the stories of gunfights and saloons were real struggles, people trying to bring civilization to chaos. Schools, churches, and families slowly replaced the lawlessness. 7. The Railroad Revolution. In 1869, a whistle echoed across the land. The Transcontinental Railroad was complete. For the first time, America was connected from coast to coast. The endless journey that once took months by wagon could now be done in days by train. The railroad brought settlers, goods, and new towns. It also brought change, faster, bigger, and irreversible. The open frontier was shrinking. The wilderness that once seemed endless was being fenced, mapped, and tamed. 8. The end of an era. By 1890, the U.S. Census declared the frontier closed. The age of exploration was over. But the spirit of the frontier, the bravery, the risk, the hunger for freedom, lived on. It shaped America's identity and its greatest myths. The pioneers, the outlaws, the cowboys, all became part of a story that still inspires the world. The American frontier wasn't just a place. It was an idea, a belief that no dream was too big, no challenge too great.